Alright, hey, what's up everyone? How's everything doing? Hopefully everyone is having a great time. Today with me I have the S7 Edge provided to me by Vodafone, and I've been using this phone for a couple of weeks now, and I think I have a pretty good shot at what I think about it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on with this video. This episode of iTechnoblog is brought to you by
Fiji's fastest 4G network. Vodafone, power to you.
So before we start with this video, let me just state that this phone was provided to me courtesy of Vodafone. However, they have no input on my review whatsoever, so whatever I am saying in this review is basically my own thoughts and opinions. They have not paid me to say anything good about it. Also, throughout this video, the shots of this phone, you will see a few numbers on the back. That's because it's a review unit and it's supposed to have identification on it, and it's in the front there'll be some the weird markings around the touch capacitive buttons and beside the front facing camera. Don't worry about that, those are not present in the final version of the phone which they actually sell. This is just a test unit, therefore it has this. After years of criticism for its refusal to move past its plastic design language, Samsung finally ditched its cheap plastic body in favor of metal last year with the Galaxy S6 lineup. However, there were a few trade-offs such as the loss of waterproofing, removable battery and no expansion slot. This year with the Galaxy S7, Samsung has merged best of both worlds to produce the Galaxy S7 Edge. This year's lineup is also quite simplified compared to last year's, where Samsung had the S6, S6 Edge, S6 Edge Plus and the S6 Active. This year is simple. You get a smaller S7 and a larger S7 Edge. So let's start things off with specs. The S7 Edge comes with either a Snapdragon 820 processor together with the Adreno 530 GPU or Samsung's in-house Exynos 8-core Octa 8990 chip backed by Mali T880 MP12 GPU. Both models also come with 4GB of RAM, which packs in quite a punch. My variant has the Exynos processor, and while both processors show some differences in performance on paper, they don't have much of a difference in real life, so if you decide to pick one up, don't worry about which processor you have, as both are quite similar. Now, taking a look around the phone, you will see your SIM card tray, which also doubles as your expansion slot and is quite different and refreshing to see Samsung bring back the expandable storage. On either side, you have the power button on the right and the volume rockers on the left. On the bottom of the phone you will see the headphone jack next to the micro USB port, which is not USB-C, as Samsung says it is not quite ready for VR, so micro USB it is. Beside that is my first complaint for the Galaxy, which is its speakers. They're really tiny, sound flat and lack volume when having a listen.
Smoke after stroke, stroke on the smoke. They tell me to quit, don't listen what I'm told. They help me forget that this.
Now, it is true that Samsung has brought back waterproofing into this new Galaxy, so that explains why these speakers are a little bit thinner, and that's well acceptable. Now yes, at first glance I wasn't quite ready to drop my review unit in water because of its exposed port, which are not covered like the S5 was. But this is due to the fact that Samsung has insulated the ports from the inside, so you don't have to worry about fiddling with port covers. The Galaxy S7 Edge offers an IP68 rating, which means it should be able to handle full submersion in water up to 3 feet deep or for up to 30 minutes. When it comes to the display quality, it is hard to beat Samsung, and thankfully the S7 Edge continues this legacy. It features a Super AMOLED display and is 5.5 inches in diagonal. The larger size means a better experience for watching movies, playing games and pretty much everything you want to do with a larger screen. The display is vibrant with saturated colors, great viewing angles, inky dark blacks and brightness that's more than enough even when viewing it outside. There's a new feature on the S7 which is called Always On Display, which basically shows basic information such as the time and date on your phone screen when it is in sleep mode and facing upwards. It has different templates to choose from, including calendar, clock and some stock images, and that's well pretty much it. It does not have third-party add-ons and does not show notifications like the LG G5 does. The fingerprint sensor on this phone is improved as well. The reader is faster than its predecessor and unlocks the phone instantaneously. Although in the first few days I did quite have some trouble here and there, but haven't had problems ever since. Next up is user experience. The S7 Edge comes with the latest iteration of Android, which is 6.0.1 Marshmallow, and that together with Samsung's much improved TouchWiz with less bloatware apps means that this phone was a pleasure to use. Apps open quickly and didn't get suspended while multitasking when I had a lot of them open. Although I could notice a few frame drops here and there, sometimes while using the phone for a long period of time. Also unique to the Edge variant is Samsung's Edge feature, which returns once again, but in its third iteration they have a few new tweaks. You still get Edge lighting, App's Edge and People's Edge, but the interface is now much more wider and allows for twice as many app shortcuts. Samsung has also added Tasks Edge, which lets you create shortcuts for common tasks such as taking selfies, creating calendar events and adding alarms and more. There's also plenty of new optional Edge panels with options including compass, ruler, weather, sports, stocks, Yahoo News and more. Most of these I didn't find necessary for long-term use beyond initially messing with them, but it's nice to see Samsung injecting a bit more functionality into the Edge UX this time around. There's also a new feature for gamers who'd like to share or record their gameplay. I know I do, so well, this is really great. The circle that sits in the corner of your game when tapped allows you to take screenshots, record gameplay and lock the keys on your phone so you're not taken out of your game if you press them by mistake. Battery life on the S7 Edge has been amazing. With its powerful 3600 mAh battery, the device had no problems going on for a whole day while having juice to spare till the afternoon of the next day, for me at least. For the Xenos model, I can tell you that Samsung's charger promises about 50% of battery life in just 30 minutes. Based on my tests, I can say that it's pretty close, with about 35 to 45% of juice coming across for me in the promised time. After talking with other fellow YouTubers, you can expect similar charging speeds from the Qualcomm variant as well. The S7 Edge in both incarnations also supports Samsung's wireless charging, although this isn't something I personally got to test out as I didn't have any wireless charging pad. Now the camera on the S7 Edge is just basically awesome. While Samsung has done a pretty good job when it comes to camera quality in its smartphones, in 2015 we really saw Samsung up its game in bringing us one of the best camera experiences we ever had. Instead of keeping the same package or just updating it slightly, Samsung has decided to take a different approach. The camera now has a 12 megapixel sensor instead of a 16 megapixel one found in its predecessor. Of course, there's more to a great camera experience than just megapixels. While the count may be lower, this has allowed for much larger pixels for increased low-light performance. The camera on the Galaxy S7 also has an f1.8 aperture lens, which is a change from the f1.9 found in its predecessor. Some of the camera's other features include optical image stabilization, face detection autofocus, LED flash and dual pixel technology. The end result is a camera with noticeably faster autofocus over competing flagship smartphones, especially in low light. Now in this camera footage that I'm showing you right now, you can see that I tried to play around with the focus and you can see how fast the camera actually was in detecting objects. Thanks to the larger pixels, there's plenty of detail and the camera does a pretty good job of keeping highlights in check. Of course, there comes a point when even the S7 Edge's camera can't handle things, and so in extreme low light conditions you will start to find overexposed highlights, a lot of noise reduction and a yellow hue which is casted onto the images. As for video recording, there's plenty of modes here, including the ability to take 4K and optical image stabilization to help footage from getting too shaky. Keep in mind there's also an optional software video stabilization, but it's been causing a lot of wrapping around the footage, so you're better off not using it. On the front you'll find a 5 megapixel camera that shoots really awesome selfies. As is typical from front-facing cameras, low-light images tend to look less great, but in good lighting you can certainly get some pretty good selfies. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for my review of this Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. If you liked it, make sure you hit that like button and show your love in the comment section down below. And also tell me what you'd like to see on this phone. Maybe a particular topic, camera review or something else, tips and tricks. I don't know what you'd like to see. Just let me know in the comment section down below and I'll try my best to do that. Also, I have the S7, the normal S7, and if you'd like to see coverage on that, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new. And yeah, I'm going to be comparing both of these devices as well as doing some really awesome stuff with them. So yeah, if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So if you're on Snapchat, you can add me by scanning the snap code right here or typing in the username PritP106. I do a little bit of behind the scenes over there and some daily life vlogs, stuff like that. So yeah guys, once again thanks to the sponsor of this video, Vodafone. Make sure you check them out, they're really awesome. And if you're in Fiji, make sure you buy your S7 exclusively from Vodafone, as they have the best deals on this phone right now currently available. Yeah guys, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.